What's the difference between bourbon, scotch, whiskey? That's a question we get quite often. I'm Tim, I'm from Elma Wine and Liquor, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about different types of whiskey and what makes them similar and what makes them different. Scotch, bourbon, Irish, American, Canadian, those are all different types of whiskey. They are all whiskeys, but they're in subcategories of whiskey. It's kind of like cheese. You have mozzarella, Parmesan, blue cheese, Colby Jack cheese. They're all different types of cheese, but at the end of the day, they're all still cheese. Whiskeys are very, very similar to that. Scotch is a type of whiskey. Bourbon is a type of whiskey. So when you're asking for a Scotch, you are inherently asking for a whiskey. What makes them a little bit different is each of those subclassifications has their own standards that they have to meet in order to be called or classified in that way. Scotch, for example, would be one of the major classifications of it. It has to come from the island of Scotland, from the nation of Scotland. It's also typically made with malted barley, which gives it its own unique flavor characteristics. Whereas bourbon has, by law, needs to be at least 51% corn and has to be aged in previously unused American oak barrels. Those previously unused barrels give the bourbons very strong vanilla flavors and help mellow out and smooth the bourbon more quickly. The corn also adds to the sweetness content, so bourbons will typically be a little bit sweeter than scotches. Irish whiskey is another subclassification, and as you may have already guessed from the Scotch comment, Irish whiskey needs to come from Ireland. Canadian whiskeys from Canada, American whiskeys from America. Canadian whiskeys tend to be a little bit higher in their rye content, which gives it a little bit more of a bite in the back of your throat, a little bit less sweetness than bourbons or some other types of whiskey. So each type of whiskey, Scotch, Irish, bourbon, has its own little unique ways of being made, ways of being aged that impart its own flavors. Another little thing about Scotch is that very often they use the used bourbon barrels to age Scotch in. Irish whiskeys use them as well, and some Canadian whiskeys do as well. That's because the bourbon producers can only use them once, and then they have to get rid of them. So the Scotch and the Irish and the Canadian producers, since they don't have those types of laws in their system about using unused barrels, they can make use of the used bourbon barrels for less of a cost than going out and purchasing new barrels themselves. So in conclusion, all these different classifications, Scotch, bourbon, Irish, are all different types of whiskey. All Scotches are whiskeys, not all whiskeys are Scotch. All bourbons are whiskey, not all whiskeys are bourbon. Hopefully that helps clear things up a little bit for you. We'll go into each one in more depth sometime in the future. If there's any particular questions you have about any of them, please let us know through the comments below or through email or any other way you can get in touch with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.